From Jeffrey Epstein, 𝗧𝗿𝗱𝗶𝗁𝗱@gmail.com, to redacted. Subject, empty. Date, Thursday, 6th of January 2013, 12:45:22. The first human redheads walked this earth about 50,000 years ago in Africa, and then spread throughout northern Europe. The country name of Russia means land of reds, in honor of a red-headed Viking by the name of 𝗏𝗏. Red-haired clowns have their origins in Russia. From the 1930s to 1510s in Cassville, Missouri, there existed a women's basketball team, the Redheads. For a while they became the talk of the country, and a much sought-after exhibition team compared to the Harlem Globetrotters. It is important to note that they were not natural redheads, at least not all of them. In the late 16th century, the fat of a red-headed man was an essential ingredient for poison. Adam's first wife Lilith, always depicted as a redhead, is known to have refused to lie beneath Adam during sexual intercourse, and stated, "Why should I lie beneath you, when I am your equal, since both of us were created from dust, 𝗏𝗏𝗏." At St. Paul's Cathedral in London, figurines tell the story of the fall of the Garden of Eden. Adam points one hand to the forbidden fruit, and the other to a golden-haired Eve. Then the archangel drives them from the garden. Adam with his fig leaf loops his arm around Eve, who is now cowering and sporting a mane of long red hair. Similarly, in the paintings of the Sistine Chapel in 1874, Michelangelo's Temptation depicts a brown-haired Eve being banded a red apple by a red-headed bare-breasted serpent woman. Satan manifested as woman of course carries red hair. In the adjacent fresco, Eve is thrown out of the garden with a shameful face and a twist of red hair. Eve's red hair is seen as the stain of sin, like the original scarlet letter. Later her son, Cain, will bear the red hair and also a fall from grace. The first red-headed British monarch was a woman. Boudica was a Celtic warrior, was led her people, the 𝗖𝗆𝗱𝗏𝗍𝗍, against the Romans in the CE 60s. Belief that redheads are witches is a folk belief in Germanic culture. From 1483 to 1784, thousands of suspected witches were nearly always stripped and searched for marks of the devil. These included any abnormality such as freckles, moles, warts, and birthmarks. Red hair was certainly considered an abnormality. Considering the freckle factor for redheads, this was a deadly and shocking horror. Somewhere around 45,000 women were tortured and murdered, usually by burning at the stake or by drowning. The Egyptians regarded the color as so unlucky that they had a ceremony in which they burned red-headed maidens alive to wipe out the tint, Clandi de Lys. British press recently reported that the MC1R, redhead gene, will be used in DNA testing to rule out, or in, if suspected killers in crime scenes are redheads. This will narrow a 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗱𝗏𝗏𝗏 if the gene is found to a small percentage of perpetrators. The hope is that next skin color and physical features will be detectable. Marion Roach, in Central Africa's Cameroon, red-headed albinos, called Ngengris, are believed also to come by this color by menstrual intercourse. The UN and other world organizations have studied and advocated for their rights, as there have been allegations of the ritual murders in some regions of Africa. Archaeological digs in the Chinese desert of Taklama found mummified redheads dating back 3,000 years. An Irish judge in 2001 fined a man for disorderly conduct, stating, "I am a firm believer that hair coloring has an effect on temper, and your coloring suggests you have a temper." Redheads have always been thought untrustworthy. Judas is most always depicted as a redhead, displaying the prejudice against red hair. The Romans kept red-haired slaves, and at a higher price. Adolf Hitler reportedly banned the marriages of two redheads, as he feared their children would be deviant offspring. "I'll beat you like a red-headed stepchild." This phrase was born out of the American South and implies the status of illegitimate offspring with a white master. At some point in history, Brahmins were forbidden to marry redheads. In France, to be red-headed is thought to be a fate so dire that some women have formed a proud to be red association. Red-haired children have been historically branded as offspring of unclean sex. This has earned them taunts, such as red knob or tampon tops. The Bible states in 1 Corinthians 11:15 that a woman's long hair is a glory to her because it can be used as a covering. Yet in Song of Solomon, 4:1 it states that it is an object that invites desire. I guess there is no loosing. Bees are thought to sting redheads more than others. In Denmark, it is an honor to have a red-headed child. In Corsica, if you pass a redhead in the street, you are to spit and turn around. In Poland, if you pass 3 redheads, you'll win the state lottery, 𝗧𝗿𝗆𝗲𝗄𝗆. In Greek mythology, redheads turn into vampires when they die. During the Spanish Inquisition, flame-colored hair was evidence that its owner had stolen the fire of hell and had to be burned as a witch. Russian tradition declares that red hair is both a sign that a person holds a fiery temper and craziness. A Russian proverb warns, "There was never a saint with red hair." Folklore in Liverpool states that meeting a redhead at the beginning of a journey is a terrible luck and bad omen. If you came upon one while still on dock or aboard the ship, you were smart to return home. In English and Scottish tradition, when the new year arrives, your first caller will bring you luck. Brunettes bring the best luck. Blondes bring no luck at all. A widower brings bad luck. A redhead brings the worst luck. This first-footing custom was so strongly practiced at one time that some homes would hire first callers. Aristotle was known to believe that redheads were emotionally and housebroken.